And I have to say I was absolutely delighted that Sinn Féin selected this topic and recognised it as an absolute priority in terms of ending the discrimination being experienced by women in our pension system, because I have to say the government doesn't seem to recognise it as a priority. I think it would be wrong not to mention the atrocious treatment of pensioners in defined benefit schemes, also, seeing as we're here, from the IASS to the CRC to obviously independent news and media. This has to be addressed, not by piecemeal measures, but by fundamental legislative change, that solvent employers cannot be allowed to walk away. I think it's interesting that the Minister has asked the Attorney-General if he can intervene in the I&M case. Clearly he wants to keep journalists sweet or something, because he didn't share the same concern about wanting to intervene in the CRC case, where the issues are very, very similar. Now, I think other deputies have spoken about the really fundamental unfairness of women who have hundreds more PRSI contributions than the 520 needed, but they still don't qualify for a full contributory pension because of the ridiculous averaging system that is used. You'd be almost forgiven for wondering, was the system designed deliberately to have that impact? It is so bad. Now, I'm not going to reiterate the points made by the other deputies, but I would point out the response that one woman got from the Minister when she wrote about the fact that she's getting a fraction of her full contributory pension because she left work to raise her children. And the Minister wrote back to her and said, "When it comes to the view that this represents discrimination against women, it's worth being well aware that it's a fact that women generally get more back from their PRSI contributions than men," going on to say this is particularly true for women with lower earnings and shorter contribution years, even though they may pay the same PRSI rate as men. That, to me, is just an absolute contemptuous indicator of how much the department devalues the work women do in the home and rearing of children, by basically telling her she was lucky to be getting half the pension of her male counterparts, despite the fact that she spent all of her adult life working. It's absolutely quite unbelievable, and I really want to finish by reading an email from the husband of a woman in my area. This woman is set to lose out on a full pension because she was forced to leave the workplace when she got married. And he puts it really well in one line, Count Corla. "My wife will qualify for the state contributory pension in October 2017, but will only receive about 84%. This is because she raised 3 children whose taxes are now being used to fund the state. It seems somewhat ironic that the state is now reaping the benefits of my wife's decision to be a stay-at-home mother, while at the same time the state is punishing her for doing so."
Thank you, Deputy Daly.